And there is something, I'm not gonna lie, there is something inside me that is a little more happy when I'm angry.
From a child who was bullied and struggled with his mentally unstable home, to now being one of the most influential rappers of the modern era and currently a multi-millionaire. Come along as we hit the mean streets of Detroit to learn interesting facts on how Eminem rose to success. Welcome to Rich and Successful. In 1972, Marshall Bruce Mathers III was born in a broken home in St. Joseph, Missouri. He was abandoned by his father when he was just a few months old. He moved with his mother from state to state before they finally settled in Detroit, Michigan. He was often bullied due to being the new kid.
What happened to you?
Fell.
You fell.
His early music centered around his difficult upbringing as he carried it into adulthood and his career. However, bullying was not the only issue he dealt with when he was young. His mother would abuse Valium and feed the same pills to a young Eminem for years, which led him to struggling with an addiction of his own. Still, despite this, Marshall found his power through hip-hop music.
My music is like therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a way for me to get stuff off my chest.
The two things young Marshall was fond of were that and the English language, shown by the fact that he'd carry a dictionary with him all the time to try to add new words to his vocabulary. Marshall began writing his own lyrics at 14. He got so into his music that soon Eminem teamed up with his friend Proof, and the two of them took part in local rap battles. The next hurdle he faced was due to his skin tone, as not many white kids took part in hip-hop music in Detroit, much less actively participating. Marshall changed their tune, though, when they heard him rap. This is around the time that he started going by Eminem. Meanwhile, he struggled with school and had begun to focus intently on his music. Late-night rapping in clubs led him to excessive tardiness and absences. Now here's an interesting fact that you probably didn't know about M. Due to him missing so much school from him focusing on his rapping, how many times do you think he got held back in the 9th grade? A, 3, B, 5, C, 2. If you said 3 times, then you are correct. M's excessive tardiness and absences begin to pile up and would keep him in 9th grade for 3 full years. This was when he decided to drop out, determined instead to make it in hip-hop. In 1996, Eminem released his debut album, Infinite, in which it absolutely flopped. His life at the time was difficult. He and his then-girlfriend, Kim Scott, lived in a crime-ridden neighborhood and were constantly being robbed. They had their daughter, Haley Scott, in 1995, and Eminem was working 60-hour weeks to support his family, but was eventually fired, which left the young family financially struggling. The release of Infinite, his personal issues, and substance abuse culminated to the inspiring rapper attempting suicide. However, this hardship had another impact. It inspired a life-changing idea that would finally give him the spark in his career that he so desperately needed. So began Slim Shady. He invented the alter ego as his personality's evil side. In December 1996, he released his Slim Shady EP. It covered themes of drug use, sex, mental instability, violence, marital difficulties, and poverty. Unfortunately, after the release of his EP, things went downhill quickly for him. He was fired from another job and evicted, but still chose to go to Los Angeles to compete in the 1997 Rap Olympics. He placed second, and an Interscope Records intern in attendance sent a copy of the Slim Shady EP to CEO Jimmy Levine. When he played the music to producer Dr. Dre, he knew this was something special. Our sponsor 21 Raves also has something special for you with many different cool rave gear and accessories. The link is in the description below. Dre claimed he never had any EP affect him like this, and he ignored the criticism from his colleagues. He didn't care that Eminem was white.
I'm like, man, listen, I think this is incredible and I would love to work with you.
Teaming up with Dr. Dre helped Eminem release his second album, the Slim Shady LP. It went on to sell over 1 million copies and became certified quadruple platinum. The 2000s were heavy hitters for Eminem. The release of the Marshall Mathers LP sold 1.76 million copies in its first week. Now here's another interesting fact about Eminem's immensely successful career. In 2000, Eminem took the record for the fastest-selling album with the release of the Marshall Mathers LP. But which artist did he take the record from? A. Snoop Dogg, B. NSYNC, or C. Britney Spears? If you picked Snoop Dogg and Britney Spears, you're right. The Marshall Mathers LP beat the U.S. records held by Snoop Dogg and Britney Spears for the fastest-selling solo album. From 2003 to 2007, Eminem was still gaining traction, releasing major albums like Encore and producing tracks on the Tupac Resurrection soundtrack in 2003. A few years after that, Eminem took a break from music, as he was dealing with a lot in his personal life, therefore releasing the album Curtain Call. It took a few years, as Eminem reinvested himself, and in 2009, Eminem would release his next album, Relapse. This started the next leg of his massive trajectory. Since Relapse, Eminem has released 5 studio albums: Recovery, the Marshall Mathers LP 2, Revival, Kamikaze, and Music to be Murdered, by which was released in 2020. Here's one more interesting fact about the one and only Eminem that you might find interesting. For how many years was Eminem's Spotify's 5th most streamed artist on the platform? A, 9 years, B, 12 years, or C, 5 years? If you chose 9 years, then you definitely know your Eminem facts. From 2010 to 2019, Eminem was Spotify's 5th most streamed artist on the platform. Please let us know your thoughts on that below, and while you're down there, make sure to check out our links in the description on ways you can become rich and successful as well. Eminem's music has been a staple in our culture for over 22 years now, with hits such as Lose Yourself, which he performed during this year's 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. Eminem holds records for the number of Grammys he's won over the years.
The whole Shady Aftermath family, Interscope Records, thank you, man.
And his booming career has made Eminem one of the most successful artists in the world. Besides his music career, Eminem has started many lucrative businesses, from Shady Records to Shade 45, Eminem's hip-hop music station, Shady Limited, which is Slim Shady brand clothing line, to even opening his own restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti. It's currently reported that the rapper has an estimated net worth of $230 to $630 million. Forbes estimates that the rap icon rakes in between $20 to $50 million a year. Now, will the real Slim Shady please drive up? The rapper currently owns a McLaren MP4 12C, Lamborghini Aventador, Porsche 911 Turbo, Ferrari 599 GTO, and an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, just to name a few, along with his multiple million-dollar properties. Sources report that Eminem is currently working on new music projects, which might be released late this year, along with rumors concerning a possible tour, but have not been confirmed yet. Eminem is a true motivation to all poor kids dealing with difficult childhoods, that if you have the drive and passion, you can make the life you dream a reality. Please do let us know what aspects of Eminem's life motivates you the most. Also, let us know what celebrity success story you'd like us to cover next. Make sure to check out all of our other Rise to Success videos as well. We'll catch you in the next one.